Hi, it's Adam Shedd again. So now I'm 5 weeks out with my acromioclavicular separation. So that's where the ligaments between the clavicle and the acromion process of the shoulder here were ripped apart. You can see that the bump is as big as ever, and I don't know if it may even be bigger because I've been pretty aggressive with getting back into activities again. But things have gone pretty well, and that's why the Indian hospital people didn't want to do surgery. So to recap, I dove for a Frisbee, landed, rolled out of it, but apparently the initial impact was too great for my shoulder, and so it ripped through all three ligaments. Went to Primacare the next day for a cheap x-ray, and she verified it was a significant separation and recommended I see an orthopedist. So I called the orthopedic clinic I work at on Saturdays for outpatient physical therapy, and I'm a PTA, not a PT, so this is just my experience. Isn't meant to recommend anything for anyone. So anyways, they told me to call a doctor that they liked, was fellowship trained. And so I called them, I got in for an appointment. The PA saw me initially and wanted to do surgery with the plate. She thought it was fractured. I was concerned about the big incision, if there was a way to do it orthoscopically. So then the surgeon actually called back and said, yeah, he could do that. There is a failure rate. So I scheduled it. Come to find out, I couldn't do it because of my work schedule. My boss was taking off, and there's also people concerned about complications with surgeries and surgeons being incentivized for money. And anyways, I was told to wait, which the doctor, to his credit, also told me I could put it off, that he was putting off a surgery, and that this is one that I could put off. So anyway, so I rescheduled for a week out when my boss would be back, and I was getting ready to take off that Friday. I had canceled my Saturday work. Then they called me and said that there's going to be a hospital fee of $2,800, and then the surgeon fee would be $1,000, and that was still without including all the consults I'd already done. So knowing my insurance, I got cheap insurance because I'm a pretty decently healthy guy. I canceled because it was just too shocking, and if I could put this off, I wanted a little time to think about this because it would be out of pocket of $6,500. So I went to the Indian hospital, have some Cherokee blood, and showed them, I can do this, I can do this, I can internally rotate behind my back, no problems. And they went so far as saying they don't even know that it is a grade 5, as the initial doctor, the orthopedist, said. And they said, they weren't saying that anybody was looking for money, but they said you always just have to be aware of that. Let's just see what happens for a while. So I was already over there, and I had already canceled work and everything, but when you have somebody saying that, it's hard not to follow the recommendations. So that's what I did. And so the last couple weeks, it's been mentally torturous, just wondering if that gap should be closed. The first orthopedist made it sound great. He said he could go in there fellowship trained, which means he's done more than anybody in town probably, or as much as or more. And that he could look for a labral tear while he was in there. He could look for a rotator cuff tear while he was in there. He could clean up some of the arthritis while he was in there. And so, there would be that long period where I would be immobilized, and I would have to figure out what I would do for work. Since I'm a subcontractor, I don't have benefits. I don't have paid time off, so it would be just purely out of my savings, which I have slowly been accumulating, and so that was something to consider as well. So all in all, there were just all these things coming up, and it made me decide to stop before I realized I've gone too deep, and I was going to end up spending all my savings and have nothing to do, and for something that was very controversial. So last night I decided to try and swim laps because my range of motion feels so good, and I've been getting in the hot tub at our condo, and it feels good. It's no problem. But when I got in the cold water, instantly I felt a little twingy, itchy, burny pain, and then I took it very slow when I started swimming freestyle, and just within 2 strokes I could feel just all the stabilizing I was having to do felt just biomechanically wrong and was giving me some achy pain. So I felt rubbing. I looked up my end feels because I needed to review from school, and so as far as from a physical therapy standpoint, I think you would call it maybe a capsular leathery end feel, because it felt like a restriction inside from it being biomechanically wrong and bones being where they're not supposed to be, which caused an achy feeling, and it's just unnerving knowing that things are moving in places that they're not supposed to be, knowing that that type of movement causes arthritis later on, and knowing that my right shoulder, for being athletic, on x-ray actually looked pretty good, but now I may be headed to where I've seen people with shoulder replacements and very complicated, ugly issues later in my life. So all that said, it's still as clear as mud. Sorry, I'm going all over the place with this too. I've been doing a little bit of strengthening for the last week and a half. I just started off with 10-pound upper body, shoulder, chest, back exercises. Shoulder exercises, I can do about 10 pounds, really not so bad. Chest exercises felt really funky. Did machine and free weight, starting off really light, and that's all I can handle. I mean, the max I could handle was 20, and it just felt this twingy pain right up in here, this weird, burny, twingy, wrong feeling. Like when you're starting a really steep rappel when you go rock climbing. That initial this feels so unnatural type of feeling. It's like that. And with back exercises like rows and whatnot, I did pretty well with those. I can do 75% of what I was doing. I think I've been working on my back a lot, trying to correct my posture, so maybe that's part of it, is that my back was stronger to begin with, and I've been doing a lot of punching, like hitting the mitts, so I think that also is part of the reason why this has gone so well, that my range of motion has come back so fast. And I did that again Saturday. Started off slow, pain-free range of motion. Went well almost 100% of the time, but then there was a moment when I had one crampy, throbbing pain that took me down on my knees for about 20 seconds. It was just where I couldn't resist punching a little hard. It just felt so good to just let out some steam and punch those things. And maybe I moved in the wrong direction or something. But for the most of the 10 rounds, I did 10 3-minute rounds, and I just had some little twinges, but it really wasn't bad. I was very careful. I went slow motion if I had to. Didn't go too fast. And so anyways, I think that's implicated. It's just pain-free range of motion. Take your time, go into it easily. That's what I was trying to do. And so anyways, 5 weeks out, one doctor says grade 5, one doctor says he thinks it's a grade 3, but it's kind of an interesting experiment, since grade 3s, people are kind of erring on the side of no surgery, and grade 5, people err on the side of surgery. And then I'm kind of in this horrible no man's land in between the definitions, where we're just kind of seeing what happens. So I feel like a guinea pig, and I will continue to post videos. So if you're going through this, I'm sorry, it's horrible. Hopefully my experience can shed some light on what's possible. Go ahead and comment if you have any ideas or thoughts, so I can hopefully learn something else from someone else's experience too.